Magalia as the Obuaguwan of Igbo land was received by the people of Ebonyi State, who came out in their numbers to show support for his re-election come February 16. President Buhari says his ambition beyond 2019 is to remain focused in consolidating on the change his administration is championing for the good of the country and leave behind a legacy of leadership the future generation can be proud of.
I, as the president today, have never been in a position of trust and abuse it. As a governor in the whole of the 6 northeastern states before, as Minister of Petroleum for over 3 years, and as a former head of state, I was arrested, detained, investigated, but they never found anything wanting against me.
APC stakeholders in the southeast and beyond described President Buhari as a symbol of hope for the country and passionately appealed to the people to convert their numbers to ensure that the president win the 25% votes in the southeast.
We are an independent nation. The right to determine our policies are not negotiable. We welcome or we will not welcome interference. We will not welcome dictatorship. We will not welcome anyone whose interest is to subject us to sets of policies that will further popularize our people. He knows that no nation has ever been great without science and technology. And Mr. President is supporting science, technology, and innovation. I resolved not to trade in any position. From the first election to the last, APC is taking over Ebonyi State.
Prepare yourself for vote. Bring your mother, your father, your brother, your sister. Protect your vote.
Highlight was the reception of about 25 political parties, including 3 governorship candidates who have endorsed the re-election of President Muhammadu Buhari.
Meanwhile, Vice President Professor Yemi Osinbajo has promised Nigerians of more infrastructural development as well as improved economy if the Buhari-led administration is given another opportunity to rule. He stated this during his campaign visit to some traditional rulers in Ondo. Tony Batere reports.
The first port of call of the Vice President was Ondo Town. At the palace of the Oshomawe of Ondo Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Adesimbo Kiladejo, Vice President Osinbajo said Nigeria is blessed with viable resources and has many ideas, but all this could not be actualized because of corrupt practices. Hence, President Buhari's administration is committed to fighting the menace.
We are investing heavily in infrastructure, and even in the south, the areas in the expressway and all the way to the river. These are roads that we have put structured amounts of money aside to do. Not to do, you are refused and part of the value.
The Vice President also visited Gegmo Oluji, His Royal Majesty Julius Adetime, where he promised more developmental projects if APC is voted to rule the country again. The Royal Fathers prayed for divine protection for the campaign team and success in the forthcoming elections. In Nakure, Tony Batere, Nta News.
In the meantime, the Ogun State Governor, Ibikunle Amosun, was appointed the General Manager of Ogun State Water Corporation, Mrs. Montserrat Oluwatoyin Agbola, as Permanent Secretary and sworn in. Governor Amosun described the new Permanent Secretary as a true ambassador of Ogun culture of dedication and commitment to duty. Lekon Akmode reports.
Alhaja Montserrat Agbola, a member of Nigerian Society of Engineers, was until her appointment as Permanent Secretary, the General Manager of Ogun State Water Corporation. For dedication and commitment to duty, especially having served Ogun State diligently, she is the latest civil servant to be rewarded, and in particular for conforming with the administration's mission to rebuild the state. Governor Amosun attested to her diligence, commitment to hard work, as the officer in charge of the agency that provided water for the population in Ogun State. He challenged the newly sworn-in permanent secretary to continue to work hard and serve the state to the best of our ability. The new permanent secretary, with enthusiasm, promised to plead the gauntlet and continue to do our best.
Work of Ogun State is not something only one person or two can finish at a go. And that simply means I will relent in my effort to continue to work till the last day. And I pray that whoever that is coming after me to take the leadership of Ogun State Water Corporation will do better than I am doing.
Mrs. Abeokuta is expected to bow out of civil service on the 12th of March this year. In Abeokuta, Lekon Agbode, Nta News.
Now to politics. Youth empowerment and gender equality in government policies and programs will form part of the blueprint of Honorable Adekunle Akinlade of the Allied People's Movement, if elected as the governor of Ogun State in the forthcoming general elections. The governorship candidate of APM stressed this at his word-to-word campaign tour across the 16 wards of the Abeokuta North local government area of Ogun State. Correspondent Mohammed Adibowale has details.
The Allied People's Movement campaign tour to Abeokuta North started with a courtesy call to the Omala of Imala, Oba Moses Adolani Olabode, and later moved around the entire 16 wards that makes up the local government area, from Imala to Olonda, Ibarawuni, Ilere Shaga, Itabale to Okeagoru, Elega and Shokori. The enthusiasm of the people of these areas knew no bounds as they welcomed with open arms Honorable Adekunle Akinlade, the governorship candidate of the APM in Ogun State, and his campaign team led by the Director General, Alhaji Sharafa Tunji Shola. With abundant land and agricultural resources yet intact, the APM governorship candidate said if elected, his administration will ensure that these vast agricultural potentials is being developed for the greater good of not only the people of the area but the entire state. He pointed out the need to create the Ministry of Trade and Investment. This, he said, will expand the model of ease of doing business in the state, used especially for farmers and small-scale businesses.
The business of government is to make sure that we create a model environment for everybody to do their business and everybody to meet the needs.
While reaffirming his commitment towards the provision of qualitative healthcare delivery and standard education, Honorable Akinlade promised that issues that concern women development will also be at the forefront.
I have seen passion, I have seen love, I have seen commitment from our people all over Ogun State. We are transparent for the rights of the central police.
While addressing people of Agoko, Elega, Mokola, Ikireku, among other areas, the governorship candidate canvassed for people's support towards the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari, all APM candidates at various levels, and as well charged the people to go get their pay raises. Sustaining the mission to rebuild Ogun State has been the motto of Honorable Adekunle Akinlade ever since he started his word-to-word campaign across the state. In Abeokuta, Mohammed Adibowale, Nta News.
On the judiciary sector, Nigerians have berated the Nigerian Bar Association for the 2-day boycott of court sitting across the nation, describing the act as unconstitutional. This, as correspondent Ayo Adelebede visits court, as the 2-day boycott by the legal practitioners end.
Since the commencement of trial of Justice Walter Onoge for alleged false declaration of assets and his subsequent suspension by the President on the order of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, various groups and individuals as well as foreign nationals have continued to react to the issue in different ways. Girls in Good Morning Nigeria said the Code of Conduct Tribunal has exclusive jurisdiction and power.
Sincerely apologize for the mix-up in that report. Now take that report again. Nigerians have berated the Nigerian Bar Association for the 2-day boycott of court sitting across the nation, describing the act as unconstitutional. This as correspondent Ayuade Elegbede visit court as the 2-day boycott by the legal practitioners ends.
The clerks are in court to perform their duties, so are the judges, but the absence of lawyers stalled proceedings at both the magistrate and high courts in Abeokuta as a result of NPA's directives. It is no longer news. The act is in solidarity with erstwhile Chief Justice of Nigeria, Walter Onogen, who was suspended from office by the president. Barrister Pascal Ogugbera examines the provision of law to such an act.
In any criminal case, stay of proceedings as contained in the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, Section 306, cannot be entertained. And I'm surprised that because one of the members of the Supreme Court is now involved, the reverse is now becoming the case. And it's unfortunate.
Not even, it's not morally or legally justifiable. Because in the process, you're also causing another problem.
Public analysts, however, described the action of NBA as unconstitutional and uncalled for, calling for adequate checkmating of powers in the judicial sector of Nigeria to avoid continuous acts of impunity.
Compulsory cases were successfully adjourned. That's its economic disadvantage. People, criminals, or the suspects whose matters were fixed yesterday and today, and who couldn't get justice, you've also denied them rule of law.
In Abeokuta, Ayuade Elegbede, Nta News.
And still on the judiciary, Nigerians have continued to react to the suspension of Justice Walter Onogen as the head of the judicial arm of government. Guests on Good Morning Nigeria described as faceless and inappropriate, linking the suspension with the conduct of the forthcoming general elections. Regina to Adam Sahid reports.
Since the commencement of trial of Justice Walter Onogen for alleged false declaration of asset and his subsequent suspension by the President on the order of the Code of Conduct Tribunal, various groups and individuals as well as foreign nationals have continued to react to the issue in different ways. Girls on Good Morning Nigeria said the Code of Conduct Tribunal has exclusive jurisdiction and power to determine the case against Justice Walter Onogen.
The matter has not been decided by the Code of Conduct Tribunal. The Code of Conduct Tribunal simply gave an order saying that he must be suspended, otherwise they will not be able to deal with this issue given the position of the Chief Justice of Nigeria in the judicial system.
Although there is no provision specifically in respect of suspending the Chief Justice, it is derived from Interpretation Act that he who appoints also has the power to suspend.
We as Nigerians should be able to separate those kind of sentiments from when a presidential decision is taken by the president.
The Senate leader, Senator Ahmed Lawal, who stressed the need to enhance the nation's electoral process, advised the Senate President to withdraw the case he filed at the Supreme Court in respect of the suspension.
We are not discussing the need or necessity of going to Supreme Court. We are discussing the procedure in this case, the process, that there was a breach, that there was an usurpation of the powers of the Senate by the Senate President, and that he has no such powers and therefore should withdraw the case, come back. If he wishes, invite us back. We'll talk about this, whether we should go to the Supreme Court for interpretation or not. But to do otherwise will compel us as a caucus to also approach the Supreme Court to say that never a party to this and therefore this case should be thrown out.
The guests advised Nigerians, especially public officers, to respect their oath of office in Abuja.
And now to election matters. Take charge for your future and stop being used as instrument of electoral violence. This is from the chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakub, to Nigerian youths has discussions on violence-free general elections in Abuja. Nta Abeokuta is our guide.
Quite energetic and with the numerical strength on their side, many see the 2019 elections as an election of youths. Youths constitute 43 million out of the 84 million eligible voters for the elections. That is 51% of the entire voting population. As characteristic of typical desperate politician, taking advantage of this segment of the population to perfect unholy deals is not far-fetched, and many are worried. So, INEC and our youth ambassadors are having frank talks with youth leaders across the country on the need to be decisive on their choices and not to bow to the pressures of politicians in executing their dirty deals.
Don't be mobilized for doing the wrong things by people whose future is already determined. The future is yours, not for those who may wish for all manner of reasons to mobilize you in the wrong direction.
And elections over the years, someone will just be sent to snatch a box and run away. So this is one thing we should also not allow ourselves to be used for.
Permanent voters card is the most prized commodity at the moment, and INEC has promised to declare the total number of uncollected permanent voters card before the elections to ensure transparency in the process. Nta Abeokuta, NTA News.
On religious matters, the Catholic Bishop of Abuja, John Onayeka, has reiterated the need for Nigerians who praise peace and peaceful coexistence at all costs, because that is what the country deems at this time to overcome its challenges. He said this in a media briefing in Abuja to mark his 75th birthday. Correspondent Momso Dalem Dati now report.
The absence of peace can be very devastating, leaving behind multiple consequences to include loss of lives and property, displacement, outbreak of diseases and joblessness, to mention only the obvious, which places peace on a high premium and makes it a virtue that should not be traded for anything whatsoever. It is a quest John Cardinal Onaiken is not taken lightly, considering that no amount of money can buy peace.
Continue to work for peace by working for justice. Continue to pursue justice until justice comes. And it's only when justice comes that there will be real peace. Anytime you begin to categorize people on a moral level, you are already doing injustice to them.
He also encouraged Nigerian youths to rise up to the challenge of leadership. The Catholic Archbishop is optimistic that things will get better in Nigeria if everybody does the needful. Today, Mendati, NTA News.
On the health sector, residents of Abuja, the capital territory, will soon begin to access affordable healthcare service delivery as the National Assembly deliberated on the bill to establish the Federal Capital Territory Health Insurance Scheme Bill and the FCT Primary Healthcare Board Bill. National Assembly correspondent Kenneth Namdi reports that the Joint Senate Committee on Health and Primary Care and Communicable Diseases organized a public hearing to consider the bill.
The FCT Health Insurance Scheme Bill seeks to include a larger number of persons as beneficiaries of basic healthcare fund, with focus on the poor, vulnerable, and those in the informal sector.
The bill also seeks to protect families from financial hardship arising from huge medical bills by ensuring equitable distribution of healthcare costs across different income groups, and to also maintain high standard of healthcare delivery within the scheme. There are people who have various ailments that cannot ordinarily pay for and end up dying, and we decided that those vulnerable ones, we must take out 1% and ensure that they are taken care of. We want affordable and effective healthcare facility for our people.
Having underscored the merits of the bill, emphasis is now on making health insurance compulsory with a substantial arrangement on subsidization for the low-income earners when the bill is passed.
We should fast-track the process of getting this running across the country so that Nigerians can be well.
So that SC residents can benefit from this. And let's see the lives of our women, our children, our men, especially the elderly.
The relevant agencies also believe that the establishment of the Primary Healthcare Board for the FCT will address some of the challenges in the healthcare sector, increase access to funding, infrastructure development, and active participation of the private sector in line with the National Health Act of 2014. From the National Assembly, Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
You're watching the Channel 12 News on Nta Abeokuta. More news after this timeout. Stay with us.
Are you in need of a comfortable place for your events such as weddings, naming ceremonies, funerals, and other occasions? Then Nta Abeokuta Event Space is for you. Nta Abeokuta Event Space is large enough to accommodate your guests. Among the things you would enjoy is a pre-mentioning of your event in our news bulletin. You can book for your space at an affordable rate. For bookings and other inquiries, please call 002-876-6190 or 003-066-6200. Come and make your event memorable. Nta Abeokuta Event Space. The success of your event is our priority.
Welcome back. Still on business. The Department of Weights and Measures under the Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment has generated over 500 million naira in 2018. For more details, let's join Basira Akinriti.
On business news, the Weight Measures Department has stated that it generated over 500 million naira, speaking with members of the Commerce and Industry Correspondent Association, SICAN in Abuja. The Director of Weight and Measurement, Muhammad Sidi, lamented that under proper review, the department can generate up to 5 million naira per annum. Sidi explained that the department can derive itself effectively and contribute meaningfully to the country's economy, given the required review and attention by the government. He explained further that the country and our citizens were losing every day due to unavailability and inability to have control over weight and measurement of all commodities sold or bought in Nigeria. Still on business news, for sustainable peace between farmers and herdsmen, the Nigerian Institute of Social and Economic Research at Ibadan has urged federal and state governments to see to the setting up of cattle ranches through the public-private partnership. This is as the institute called for setting up of grazing reserves in states that have consented to temporary measures to minimize friction between herds and farmers. The research team also called for strengthening of cross-border cooperation with the security forces of neighboring countries to control circulation and possession of illicit firearms and ammunition. And that's all on NTA Business News. I am Basira Akinriti. On entertainment news, music divas YJ and Olawumi have joined forces to establish Ends Media, a new media establishment uniquely conceived to change the game in the media business. The music divas said that Ends Media was founded in order to create solutions and provide innovative and creative ideas for the industry. We both have a considerable amount of experience working in and navigating the media industry. We believe we can put this knowledge to good use, said Waju. Singers expressed their observation of a gap in the industry that needs to be filled. We need to start telling our own stories, and we need to be more expressive and innovative Omawumi Shield. Velvety voiced singer Simisola Bolatito Ogunleye, popularly known as Simi, has
Administration has a major bane of sports development in the country. Sports psychologist Professor Shehu Omotayo made this known at the official opening of 2019 August State chapter of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria, Swan Week in Abeokuta. Anthony Gondana's report is here presented.
The 2019 edition of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria Week witnessed the convergence of sports experts, football club owners, veteran athletes, as well as young athletes. Speaking on the theme, 2018 National Sports Festival, the lessons therein, as seasoned sports psychologist, Professor Shiwamotaya described the rate at which Nigeria, who used to be a top sports talent producer in Africa, is now performing below expectation at continental and international competitions, attributing poor funding, late camping, lack of motivation, and lack of recognition of the nation's sports heroes. Professor Omotayo advocated the establishment of Sport Development Trust Fund and all of them in every state across the country as way out. In their goodwill messages, sports administrators, veteran athletes, including Falila Ogunkoya Omotayo, are of the opinion that Nigeria's sports sector will develop faster if governments can create an enabling environment as well formulate policies that will allow private individuals and organizations to contribute to sports development. The secretary to the state government, Taiwo Adeolu, while declaring the ceremony open, challenged sports experts and sports writers to join hands with government in developing the nation's sports industry.
All of us, government, athletes, sport politicians, sport writers, all of us, to wake up and realize that we have a load of work on our hands to please ensure that our sport moves on.
That's it on the news tonight. Thanks for watching.
búra fún akọ̀wé àgbà tuntun. Ẹkún ìkàlẹ̀ Olúwakẹ́mi Ọ̀rúnṣolú Síkírù ní orúkọ tèmi. Ìròyìn náà rèé lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́. Aláṣẹ Muhammadu Buhari ti sọ pé ìjọba òun fún ìgbà kejì bí àwọn èèyàn bá dìbò yan òun pé yóò ṣiṣẹ́ fún àṣeyọrí rẹ̀ gbogbo tí òun ti ṣe lórí ìgbógun ti ìwà ìbàjẹ́, ṣíṣe ìdánijẹ́ fún ètò ọrọ̀ ajé àti ìpèsè ètò ààbò tó yanrantí. Aláṣẹ sọ èyí nínú ètò ìpolongo ìbò rẹ̀ fún ipò ààrẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí nípínlẹ̀ Ebonyi. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Chinezo John jábọ̀ rò pé aláṣẹ Buhari ṣe ìlérí láti má káàárẹ̀ ọkàn nínú gbogbo iṣẹ́ ìdàgbàsókè tó gùn lé. Igbákejì ààrẹ Yẹmí Ọ̀ṣínbàjò ti ṣe ìlérí fún àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè Nàìjíríà wípé bí àwọn ènìyàn bá dìbò yan ìjọba aláṣẹ Buhari wọlé lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí, ìjọba rẹ̀ yóò tẹ̀síwájú nínú iṣẹ́ àkànṣe ìpèsè ohun amáyédẹrùn tí yóò sì tún mú ìrọ̀rùn túbọ̀ bá ètò ọrọ̀ ajé. Ó sọ èyí nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ ní àkókò àbẹ̀wò ìpolongo rẹ̀ sí àwọn ládéládé kan ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ondo. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Tóyìn Bàtìrì jábọ̀ ròyìn pé igbákejì ààrẹ ṣe àbẹ̀wò sí àwọn ládéládé bí wọ́n ti ń wúre fún un pẹ̀lú ó ṣèlérí pé ìjọba aláṣẹ Buhari kò ní káàárẹ̀ ọkàn nínú gbogbo iṣẹ́ ìlọsíwájú tó gùn lé. Gómìnà ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Ìbíkúnlé Amósùn ti yan ọ̀gá àgbà fún iléeṣẹ́ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ tó ń rí sí ìpèsè omi, arábìnrin Monsurat Olúwatóyìn Agboola, gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀wé àgbà, ó sì ti búra fún pẹ̀lú. Gómìnà Amosun ṣe àpèjúwe akọ̀wé àgbà náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí aṣojú àṣà ìfarajìn àti ìfẹ́ méjì sí iṣẹ́ nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Lẹ́kan Àgbọ̀dẹ ló mú ròyìn náà bọ̀ ẹ̀gbọ́n tí ó ń bọ̀ síwájú sí.
Alhaja Monsurat Agboola tó jẹ́ ọ̀kan gbòógì lára àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ onímọ̀ ẹ̀rọ ilẹ̀ wa ẹ̀ka ti ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn ló ti jẹ́ ọ̀gá àgbà iléeṣẹ́ àjọ olómi ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn kó tó di pé wọ́n yàn án gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀wé àgbà fún ṣíṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun àti ìfarajì rẹ̀ sí iṣẹ́ rẹ̀. Èyí ló fà á tí wọ́n fi wo ìgbójúsìn àwọn akitiyan rẹ̀ tí wọ́n sì fi yàn án gẹ́gẹ́ bí akọ̀wé àgbà ní ẹni tí ó ṣiṣẹ́ ní ìbámu pẹ̀lú èròǹgbà ìjọba tó wà lórí àlééfà báyìí ní ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn láti tún ìpínlẹ̀ náà kọ́. Gómìnà Amosun sọ nípa iṣẹ́ ribiribi àti iṣẹ́ akin tí arábìnrin náà ń ṣe, ẹni tí ó sọ pé ó ń tẹra mọ́ iṣẹ́ rẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀gá àgbà àjọ olómi ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Ó wá gbà á níyànjú wípé kó túbọ̀ máa ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun fún ìsìn ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Arábìnrin náà tí ó jẹ́ akọ̀wé àgbà tuntun ọ̀hún wọ́n fi ìdùnnú hàn sí gómìnà àti àwọn ọmọ ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn fún àǹfààní tí wọ́n fún un. Ó wá ní òun ti gbà láti túbọ̀ ṣiṣẹ́ takuntakun sí i fún ìdàgbàsókè ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn. Lẹ́kan Àgbọ̀dẹ ló ti ń jábọ̀ ìròyìn.
Ríró àwọn ọ̀dọ́ lágbára dọ́gbadọ́gba láàrin ọkùnrin àti obìnrin ni yóò jẹ́ pàtàkì ìlànà àti ètò ìjọba ní bí àwọn èèyàn ìlú bá dìbò gbé òun wọlé. Adíje dupò gómìnà lábẹ́ àsíá ẹgbẹ́ òṣèlú APM Adékúnlé Akínládé nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn ló tẹnpẹlẹ mọ́ èyí níbi ìpolongo rẹ̀ ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Àríwá Abẹ́òkúta. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Mohammed Adébọ̀wálé ló mú ròyìn náà bọ̀. Ó jábọ̀ ìròyìn bí ìpolongo ìbò ẹgbẹ́ APM ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ Àríwá Abẹ́òkúta ó bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àbẹ̀wò sí ọba Ọ̀málà àti Ìmálà ọba Moses Adélaní Ọlábọ̀dé. Lẹ́yìn rẹ̀ ní ikọ̀ náà lọ káàkiri gbogbo wọ́ọ̀dù mẹ́rìndínlógún ní ìjọba ìbílẹ̀ náà láti Ìmálà lọ sí Ọlọ́rundá, Ìbàrà Orílé, Iléwó Ìṣàgá, Ìtabalẹ̀ dé Òkè Àgóòrò, Ẹlẹ́gà àti Ṣòkòrè. Bí àwọn èèyàn ọ̀hún ti ń tẹ́wọ́ gbà á, adíje dupò náà tí adarí ìpolongo rẹ̀ Alhaji Sharafa Túnjí Ìṣọ̀lá léwájú fún. Adíje dupò náà sọ nínú ọ̀rọ̀ rẹ̀ pé ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àǹfààní tó wà nínú ètò ọ̀gbìn tí kò tíì jẹ́ lílò ní ìjọba rẹ̀ yóò ṣe àmúlò rẹ̀ tí àwọn ènìyàn bá dìbò yan òun wọlé gẹ́gẹ́ bí gómìnà, tí òun yóò sì máa dá ilé iṣẹ́ ìjọba tí yóò máa rí sí káràkátà sílẹ̀ láti jẹ́ kí àwọn àgbẹ̀ àti àwọn olókoòwò kéékèèké lè gbòòrò sí nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn, tí ètò ọrọ̀ ajé yóò sì di ohun àmúyangàn káàkiri gbogbo orílẹ̀-èdè. Bákan náà ni ó tún fìdí ẹ̀ múlẹ̀ pé ìpèsè ètò ìlera tó péye àti ètò ẹ̀kọ́ tó yè kooro yóò wà nínú gbogbo ètò ìjọba òun, bí ó tún ṣèlérí pé gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tó ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ìdàgbàsókè àwọn obìnrin lòun yóò mú ní ọ̀kúnkúndùn. Àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti bu ẹnu àtẹ́ lu ìgbésẹ̀ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn agbẹjọ́rò fún ọjọ́ méjì láti máa lọ fún ìgbẹ́jọ́ láti fi ẹ̀hónú hàn lórí ọ̀rọ̀ adájọ́ àgbà Ọ̀nàgẹ̀ tí ìjọba àpapọ̀ ní kò lọ́rọ̀ kúnlé. Àwọn èèyàn tí wọ́n bá akọ̀ròyìn wa Ayọ̀adé Elégbèdé sọ̀rọ̀ sọ pé ìgbésẹ̀ náà kò bá òfin mu, wípé ìgbésẹ̀ yìí ó ti ṣe ìdíwọ́ fún ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ìdíwọ́ fún àwọn tí wọ́n ti ní èrò wípé àwọn yóò gba ìtúsílẹ̀ nínú ìgbèkùn tí àwọn wà. Bákan náà, àwọn ọmọ orílẹ̀-èdè yìí ti bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní fi èrò wọn hàn lórí bí wọ́n ti ní kí adájọ́ àgbà Walter Onnoghen lọ́rọ̀ kúnlé. Àwọn àlejò lórí ètò Good Morning Nigeria níléeṣẹ́ NTA ṣe àpèjúwe ọ̀rọ̀ náà gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀rọ̀ tí kò ní ẹsẹ̀ nílẹ̀, bí àwọn kan ti ń lọ ọ̀rọ̀ náà mọ́ ètò ìdìbò tó ń bọ̀, wípé ọ̀rọ̀ ọ̀hún ní ṣe pẹ̀lú ètò òfin àti ìlànà ni. Eléyìí tí ó dẹ̀ jẹ́ pé bí ìjọba àpapọ̀ kò bá sọ pé kó lọ́rọ̀ kúnlé, ètò ìgbẹ́jọ́ ọ̀hún kò ní ṣeéṣe títí tí ìdájọ́ yóò fi wáyé. Ó tọ́ kí adájọ́ àgbà náà kí ó lọ́rọ̀ kúnlé. Wọ́n ti gba àwọn ọ̀dọ́ lámọ̀ràn láti kọjú mọ́ ọjọ́ iwájú wọn kí wọ́n jáwọ́ nínú ìwà mímáa lò wọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí irinṣẹ́ rògbòdìyàn ní àkókò ìdìbò. Àmọ̀ràn yìí wáyé láti ọ̀dọ̀ alága àjọ tó ń rí sí ètò ìdìbò lórílẹ̀-èdè yìí, ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Mahmood Yakub ló sọ èyí níbi tí ó ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí ọ̀nà láti ní ètò ìdìbò tó ní àlàáfíà, bí ó ti ń gba àwọn ọ̀dọ́ lámọ̀ràn láti ṣàkítímápá wípé kí àwọn náà kí wọ́n lè di aṣíwájú rere lọ́jọ́ ọ̀la. Wọ́n ti sọ pé àìsí àkíyèsí tó tó nípa owó àti ètò ìṣàkóso tí kò fẹsẹ̀ múlẹ̀ ló ń ṣe ìdíwọ́ fún ìdàgbàsókè ètò aré ìdárayá lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ṣeun Ọmọ́táyọ̀ ló sọ èyí di mímọ̀ níbi ètò tó ń ṣíṣọ lójú ọ̀sẹ̀ àwọn akọ̀ròyìn aré ìdárayá nílùú Abẹ́òkúta. Akọ̀ròyìn wa Anthony Gàdónú ló mú ìròyìn náà bọ̀. Ó jábọ̀ ìròyìn pé ètò ayẹyẹ ẹgbẹ́ àwọn akọ̀ròyìn aré ìdárayá ti ọdún yìí nípínlẹ̀ Ògùn ló ní oríṣiríṣi àpéjọ àwọn èèyàn lónìrànràn ní ẹ̀ka ìdárayá níkàlẹ̀ tó fi mú àwọn tí wọ́n ti sáré ìje lórílẹ̀‐èdè yìí rí. Nígbà tí ó ń sọ̀rọ̀ lórí àkòrí ayẹyẹ náà tí wọ́n pè ní àjọ̀dún aré ìdárayá lágbàáyé ní ọdún 2018, ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ṣeun Ọmọ́táyọ̀ bu ẹnu àtẹ́ lu bí ẹ̀ka aré ìdárayá orílẹ̀‐èdè yìí tí ó ti ń léwájú tẹ́lẹ̀ rí lágbàáyé wá di ohun tó ń jó àjórẹ̀yìn. Ó ṣàlàyé pé àìsí owó tó tó fún ẹ̀ka ọ̀hún àti àìsí kóríyá fún àwọn ọmọ ẹgbẹ́ àti àìsí ìpàgọ́ lákòókò tó yẹ gẹ́gẹ́ bí àwọn ohun tó ń fa ìfàsẹ́yìn ẹ̀ka aré ìdárayá ọ̀hún. Ọ̀jọ̀gbọ́n Ọmọ́táyọ̀ pè fún ìdásílẹ̀ owó ìyàsọ́tọ̀ sí ìpamọ́ fún ètò aré ìdárayá káàkiri ìpínlẹ̀ gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọ̀nà àbáyọ. Àwọn jàǹkànjàǹkàn nínú aré ìdárayá pàápàá bíi Fàlílàt Ògúnkọ̀yà sọ pé bí ìjọba àpapọ̀ bá fi àyè ìrọ̀rùn sílẹ̀ tí ó sì ṣe ìlànà tí yóò fi àyè gba àwọn ẹnìkọ̀ọ̀kan àti àjọ aládàáni, ètò aré ìdárayá yóò gun òkè àgbà. Akọ̀wé àgbà sí ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ògùn Táíwò Adéolúwa nígbà tí ó ń ṣiṣọ́ lójú ètò náà ké sí àwọn akọ̀ròyìn aré ìdárayá gbogbo láti fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú ìjọba láti gbé ẹ̀ka aré ìdárayá lárugẹ. Tó ìròyìn wa fún ti àkókò yìí kò ní jù báyìí lọ. Ẹ pàdé wa fún àkọ́tún nínú ìròyìn wa tún. Ẹ kú ìkàlẹ̀.
Àyítẹ̀dá Muhammadu Buhari kò ìbásòfò gbígbá hólílá tó ẹ̀bùn kàlàbà kó àdọ̀gbígbé nápó nàdọ́sìndónùkan dótò àwọn àzépé àkìsígbẹ́dù. Àyímátẹ̀gá mọ́sùn kòkòrò náà kọ́wé kàtọ́ dàkú àdòdó yọyọ́ àkúṣàn. Òfà pípọ̀ òpè ìdọ̀tọ́lẹ̀tọ̀ nàdó wà sán kò bẹ́pẹ́ òpè dídọ̀ wẹ̀nu ògbẹ́ òpè ìdọ̀tọ́lẹ̀tọ̀ tó àyítẹ̀wítọ̀ Nàìjíríà jẹ̀lá pété náà òpè kọ́lẹ̀. Mèkúdò òpèjà yìí ìsọkúdò àsẹ́gbẹ̀tàn ẹ̀wẹ̀ ìrìnrìn gígọ́sán tẹlifíṣàn ọ̀dàn tó pọ́ọ́dún tọ̀nẹ̀ tó Abẹ́òkúta nínú mìtọ̀wẹ̀ Lawrence Gàdónú. Àyítẹ̀gá Muhammadu Buhari dọ̀ òpè ẹ̀lẹ̀ dẹ́fù hẹ́mì náà sọ́sán tó gájí náà yìí ìsádó wà sọ́dọ́tà náà tọ́kọ̀ dàgbòrò lọ́mọ hẹ́mì kò mọ́lẹ̀ dókòrò àwọn hẹ́mì tó sì ṣe pé àhìsí bíbẹ́dùn nukọ yìí hẹpẹ àjọwọpọ àlọsọdọhùnlẹ tọpọ àyítẹgá dọhù ètò àyítẹgá sí òfò bíbá hólílá sí òhún soso hèébà sí gbọnù hèébà sí tó ẹbùnyì ìmátẹmẹ ìnìyí tọmítọ hìtì tó fúnlẹ ẹnìní gọdọ gbẹtọlẹ lọsùlọsù gòdò fi òtò dọgbẹ lọtọlẹ pé ìwọn iná tọlẹ pé gọnà òtò họlùlẹ pé gbẹtọ kìrìsìkìrìsì dèfòlẹ pé wẹsùn pọ gẹgẹ tó òtẹlọmẹ fi àyítẹ̀gá dọ́pàgbètè nàdọ́sìn tó nìkan pọ̀ àwọn zẹ́pẹ́ àìsí bẹ́dùkú kákàsùnkò ní èmi náà bú ìdó àṣọ pété náà wà lọ jàgọ́ lọ. Àlọ́gọ́tọ̀ àyítẹ̀gá tan òmíràn Yẹmí Ọ̀ṣínbàjò kò dọ́pàgbè ná Nàìjíríà fílẹ̀ dọ́ nìkan ìhẹ̀pẹ́ òtò ẹ̀fíwínúlẹ̀ sọ́tìn gbòdàdúgbọ́ lọ́sọ̀rọ̀sọ́pọ̀ àga ìhẹ̀pẹ́ àjọ̀hópó ene nido yeso naute devo akoludu he ayitega Buhari zonukona na doso avo ohun akoludu tokun to ayiteme ehuhu sindo o ma ohun itoji to fo bibra holila he ba si fonu ene laposo eton do oto holiday lede to Ondo ni to toyin batire hen go do alogoto ayitenga to dọ̀nà gbẹ̀tọ́lọ́lẹ̀ dọ̀mọ́ àhọ́lódò etí tó gàjẹ́ àlọ́nu kò rí àwọn pé kò sọ́wọ́ bá sí pé nàdọ́mọ̀dọ̀mọ́ ẹ̀hẹ̀nù kan yìí pláàjọ́hó pé àkàràdéfù lẹ́pọ̀ tó àyè tẹ̀mẹ̀ bùnà sọ́mọ̀dọ̀mọ́ yẹ̀wò àsán fẹ́kúfẹ́kú dọ́tà náà gbẹ̀dàgbẹ̀ tòsútòsí tàn tó àyè tẹ̀mẹ̀. obìnrin mátẹ̀gá òṣèdọ́tà dàhó ìbíkúnlẹ̀ àmọ́sùn kó dé ogan daho sorozopa ayimate oguntan memeyanu mọsurat olúwa tóyìn agboola bóde àkọlùwé kan tó daho àtòdó bùsọ òpìlẹ àwùnẹ àdókòlọ ayimate gan àmọsùn dó àkọlùwé kan tó daho àtòdó yọyọ àkúṣọ lọhìá bóde nùkúmọ lónìí gbó jọhámọ òkàhẹdó àsọgbò oguntan bó àgbàsá yìí tó wà sán kó tàn pé nìyí tọmítàn lẹkan agbọdẹ heti to fune heninigo do oganda holo hebasi asuka gongodo poto ogbeomo zona tole tone to ayite bito Nigeria agra imate ogutan do yeze do tanome do tana so feku he ko sewa bodi ogagongo osin ozonpa imate ogutan to ho he dame ayimate gan amosun do ahowe kan to da ho adodo yọyọlọ kì í apọ́dì mẹ́ẹ̀nà ẹ̀kandọ́ àsọ̀gò èyí bá sídọ̀ mọ́ ní mẹ́ẹ̀nà wàsàn fẹ́kúfẹ́kú bùsọ́wá náà yìí dọ̀ní mọ̀gọ́mẹ́rin ìsìndónù kan lótò àsánwà mọ́rùkọ̀ tàn pọ́dì dé kò tó sì síwà lẹ́ẹ̀dọ́ tó kóhe wọ̀ súdọ̀mẹ̀ àhọ́wé kan tó dàkó yọyọ àkójọ ọlọ́dọ́pàgbé dọ̀ àgbọ́mọ̀nà pé ní ẹ̀pọ̀n gbèdé dọ́bẹ̀ mi náà sìndónù kan lótò àsánwà náà nìkan yà yìí má tẹ̀ ògùntàn kó àyè tẹ̀ ìbílẹ̀ ògùntàn kó ẹ̀. òhun ránṣẹ́ tó kọjí náà jọ̀jàlẹ̀ pé hìhẹ̀ sósì pé yàn sí lẹ́ẹ̀pẹ́ tí ìtò sẹ́sẹ̀ jí pé tó àìhàhìbà sí àhóngbòtàn lẹ́rìn pé tìtò lẹ́ẹ̀pẹ́ wẹ̀nàbà sí àdàdé tó kàndá ìyá àhóngbò mẹ̀sí sí Adékúnlé Akínládé òtòrò dọ̀gbẹ́ Allied People's Movement lẹ́mẹ̀ ẹnẹ̀ nílò yìí bravo dóde ìpódì ògùn yìí mátẹ̀gán tó fò bíbélà ìdálẹ́ ìpinnu àyèmátẹ̀gátẹ̀ ìfúnrẹ́ tán òtòrò dọ̀gbẹ́ APM tán lọ wẹ̀ fúfú ògàn kéèké òkú ìtàn tó òfò bíbélà ó nílá òfò bíbélà lẹ́nu pẹ̀fí tó pẹ̀fí èyí bá sítàn pẹ̀lú ògùn àgósù ẹ̀nẹ̀ òfò bíbélà lẹ́nu pẹ̀fí fọtọ̀nùkúdùpó ètìtò Abẹ́òkúta àgéwàjítọ̀mẹ̀ tó ògùn nìyítọ̀mítọ̀ Muhammed Adébọ̀wálé ètìtò fúnẹ̀ hẹrin nígbọ̀ dọ̀ àkọlù ìbàsí ọ̀mọ́là ìmọ́là tán lọ́sọ́tì tó òtí àtòdúrọ̀mẹ̀ pé tó họ́lù dẹ́fùrẹ́ pé tó jìjì mátẹ̀ họ́dù lẹ́nu lọ́mẹ̀ tó hóhe dọ̀mẹ̀ àyí mátẹ̀ gátẹ̀ hùrẹ́ tọ́lọ́ dépàgbé náà dọ́mọdọ́mọ́ lẹ́dí ọ̀dàgbé plá àkàrà jíjọ wa gbàsálélógún tán òwúhó tán pé òkú ránṣẹ́ tó kọjí náà yàn sílẹ̀ lọ́sọ́kọ́ gọ́nà jọ̀jálẹ̀ tó hóhe dọ̀mẹ̀ ní ìbá sí àsìkò dínà tán náà ìsísí òfò bíbláhó lílá lọ́tàn Alhaji Sharafa tó jí ìṣọ̀lá dọ̀mọ́ èmìnà mọ̀dọ̀ àsán ìwò àtòkì gọ́mẹ̀ nàdódìké náà kọ́lùdù méjẹ òpẹ́lọ́jì. Nàìjíríà fílẹ̀ kó dógbòdò pété òwàlọ̀ ògbẹ́ òfàyídọ̀tọ́lẹ̀ kan tó àyíkẹ́ náà sáàwé pápá èyí yí dọ́gbẹ́màáyé òpẹ́fọ́mẹ̀ gbàgósù ẹ̀nẹ̀ àyítẹ̀ bléèbùtọ̀mẹ̀ bukawa dó òwàlọ̀ lórí apọ́bì déèdì àgọ̀ bléèbù dóòsẹ́ àyítẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tán. Èhè rẹ̀ ìrìn tọ̀mítàn Ayọ̀ Adélégbèdé èyí lá òpẹ̀kọ̀ lẹ́kún ẹ̀gbọ̀ ná àsáwì pápá òpẹ̀ ìdọ̀tọ́lẹ̀ lọ́sọ̀lọ́sọ́pọ̀ sẹ́ńtọ̀ dẹ́fùlẹ̀ pé dó gbẹ́ àsánmáwọn àhesọ́ òjẹ̀ òdòtò òtìfì gbẹ̀tọ́ ìdọ̀húrẹ̀ dógbòdò òwàlọ́lọ́ kódọ̀ ébà sí òwàlọ́ náà hẹ̀táyà pra òwàlọ́ jàgọ̀ tó ṣẹ́ṣẹ̀ ní ìbá sí òpó ìdọ̀ tọ́lẹ̀tàn ìsọ́bà sí òsẹ́yọ́ tọ́lẹ̀tàn àyítẹ̀mítàn Nàìjíríà. Mọ́dù pọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà fílẹ̀ kò sí dọ́nù kan lótò òkúdọ̀ mọ́ nǹkan tó ta náà dọ̀kìyídọ̀ náà òpè tátọ̀ dàkó pété àyítẹ̀tàn kó òsẹ́yọ́ tọ́kó ilẹ̀ wọ̀ta ọ̀nà yẹn ní sí àyíndó fídẹ̀pẹ́ dẹnu kan lọ́sọ̀rọ̀sọ ìsọ́bà sí ọ̀gá gbòǹgbò àkàrà àwẹ̀dọ̀wà àkọ́dúdú tán gbẹ̀tọ́ ìbá sí ìjọ́nà tó títò mítàn lẹ́ẹ̀tàn jíyẹ́nẹ̀ òkòròkó títò mítàn lẹ̀ ní fọ́ndàgbéyà Nàìjíríà dó òwà lọ́lọ́kìá pódì dé máa yìdó àlìdàgbètì kódọ̀ ìbá sí òwà lọ àdógódé èyí zizédó tẹ̀lẹ̀ nàdó gbẹ́pẹ́ òfò bíbá ìjà tó àyítẹ̀mítàn nìní tọ̀mítàn hẹnu nígọ̀ dọ̀mẹ̀ ìdọ̀kúrọ̀lẹ̀ soso yìí kàn wọ́n ẹ̀dọ́gbọ́dọ̀ òwà lọ́lọ́ kódọ̀ ẹ̀ máa bá sí òun èèyàn hàn pẹ̀ náà òtò ó dìdọ̀ kọ́ dùn nídẹ̀ sí àyítẹ̀tàn. àsìkò jìnnà tọ́ òfògbágbẹ́ àyítẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tán ilẹ̀ òmùrẹ́tọ̀ Mahmood Yakub kò ná ìjọjà àyítẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tán lẹ̀ nàdọ́mọdọ́mọ yé jẹ̀lá pété náà yìí yé sá kóbì mi náà hẹ̀ òtò hurú lọ́sọ̀lọ́sọ́pọ̀ òmùsísá òtò hẹ̀ hurú tọ̀tò òfò bíbá hó ìjà lẹ́ẹ̀kọ́nùtọ̀ àyítẹ̀ nẹ̀ àsìkò jìnnà tọ́lọ wẹ́dọ̀ òkú èdòtà láti tó àdódódé èyí tẹ́ àfàfà ètò ìwá ìmẹ̀tò Àbújá tó mẹ́ ìròyìn tọ̀mítọ̀mí òkèdè ẹni ní gọdọ̀ òtẹ̀lọ́mẹ̀ owó ẹ̀mẹ̀ òkúdùrẹ́ tó dọ̀dálẹ̀ lọ sókó sí nùkúmọ̀nù pòmì àdódódé fòlẹ́ kóòtè bọ̀yì sọ́nà ààyè ìjọjà ààyè tẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tọ́lẹ̀ nàdọ́mọdọ́mọ yé jẹ̀lá pété bòmásọ́nà òtẹ̀ mẹ̀dẹ́pẹ́pẹ́ lọ́sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀ òtòwó dọ̀tọ́lẹ̀ nàdó yíyé sán tóbi àsọwànú náà hìhẹ òmùlẹ̀kùnú tó àyítẹ̀mítàn Nàìjíríà mo mẹ̀sẹ̀lẹ̀ fún èmi mọ̀dò lórí lẹ́ẹ̀tọ̀jẹ̀ tó ìjà yé gbèdé dépò sọ́sùn ìjà yìí sọ tó kúnà gan-an olùkó tọ́ sí nǹkan mẹ́ kákàjẹ̀ ìjà yìí sọ oko dẹ̀dọ̀ àlọ́sọ́dọ̀ máwùtọ́ láti tò ní mẹ́kúnjì gbogbo dọ́dàgbé èsùn pẹ̀tẹ́nu.
Good evening. You are welcome to NTA Channel 12 News for the Deaf. I am Sheyi Ogunbayo. Now news in detail.
Diligently, she is the latest civil servant to be rewarded, and in particular for conforming with the administration's mission to rebuild the state. Governor Musu attested to her diligence, commitment to hard work as the officer in charge of the agency that provided water for the populace in Ogun State. He challenged the newly sworn-in permanent secretary to continue to work hard and serve the state to the best of her ability.
The Allied People's Movement campaign tour to Nta Abeokuta North started with a courtesy call to the Omala of Imala, Oba Moses Adelani Olabode, and later moved around the entire 16 wards that makes up the local government area, from Imala to Olonda, Ibarawini, Ilewe Shaga, Itabale to Okeaburu, Elege and Shokori. The enthusiasm of the people of this area is no more bounds as they welcome with open arms Honorable Abdulkabir Adekunle Akinade, the governorship candidate of the APM in Ogun State, and his campaign team led by the Director General, Alhaji Sharafa Atunji Shola. With abundant land and agricultural resources yet intact, the APM governorship candidate said if elected, his administration will ensure that these vast agricultural potentials is being developed for the greater good of not only the people of the area but the entire state. He pointed out the need to create the Ministry of Trade and Investment. This, he said, will expand the model of ease of doing business in the state, most especially for farmers and small sellers. While addressing people of Agoko, Elega, Mokola, Ikereku, among other areas, the governorship candidate canvassed for people's support towards the re-election bid of President Muhammadu Buhari, all APM candidates at various levels, and as well charged the people to go get their PVCs. Sustaining the mission to rebuild Ogun State has been the motto of Honorable Abeokuta Adekunle Akinade ever since he started his word-to-word campaign across the state. To his members fully upheld. It is no longer news the act is in solidarity with erstwhile Chief Justice of Nigeria, who was suspended from office by the president. Forceful adjournment of cases and economic disadvantage was highlighted as part of the effect of the two-day court-sitting boycott embarked upon by members of the Nigerian Bar Association. Public analysts, however, described the action of NBA as unconstitutional and uncalled for, calling for adequate checkmating of powers in the judicial sector of Nigeria to avoid continuous acts of impunity.
The 2019 edition of the Sports Writers Association of Nigeria Week witnessed the convergence of sports experts, football club owners, veteran athletes, as well as young athletes. Speaking on the theme, 2018 National Sports Festival, the lessons therein, as seasoned sports psychologist, Professor Shinwamotayo described the rate at which Nigeria, who used to be a top sports talent producer in Africa, is now performing below expectation at continental and international competitions, attributing poor funding, late camping, lack of motivation, and lack of recognition of the nation's sports heroes in their goodwill messages. Sports administrators, veteran athletes, including Falilat Ogunkoya Motayo, are of the opinion that Nigeria's sports sector will develop faster if government can create an enabling environment.
Join us again Friday. Thank you for watching. Good night.
Abeokuta, solid as the rock.
Daysborough International Hotel, cool, classy at Daysborough. We serve with impeccable hospitality.
Our standard rooms, executive double and suites, and our car park are ready comfort, specially prepared for you.
Variety of dishes are available, plus African and European cuisines, just the way you desire. Lunch and dinner are also available to taste.
A Daysborough International Hotel, and nothing like it. At our swimming pool side, relaxation awaits you with refreshing drinks of your choice.
That's not all. Our standard event center caters for all occasions, such as wedding ceremony, birthday, burial, seminars, and workshop. Our power generator makes fun uninterrupted. Security is guaranteed.
You can book any of our facilities ahead of time. Just dial 0806-836-1706 or 0818-821-1485 and you have a deal. Patronize us today.
We're located at number 17 to 21 Mercy Clinic Road, Nta Abeokuta, Ogun State.
At Daysborough International Hotel, hospitality at
If you want a great Nigeria with a better future, with hope and strength election, 2019 is here. It's our only hope election for a better tomorrow election, a better Nigeria election, 2019 is here.
Good people of Nigeria, the general elections are here again. Be good Nigerians. Let's do what is right. Do not sell your vote. Do not buy anybody's vote. Vote buying and selling amount to bribery. They are criminal acts and election malpractices. Offenders will be arrested, prosecuted, and jailed. So vote according to your conscience. Shun all forms of election malpractices. vote for the candidate of your choice. This message is from the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC. INEC, making your vote count, consolidating our democracy. Election 2019 is here. Dr. Seats and Event Center. Our unique features include a sparkling crystal bar, executive conference hall, a tasty delight restaurant, stop and shop center, a Fairview relaxation garden, all-purpose event center, exotic accommodation with free internet browsing and standard swimming pool. For bookings and inquiries, contact us at Majet Campbell Close, off Quarry Road, Post Office, Nta Abeokuta, Ogun State, or call 0803 115 5101, 0805 107 5663. Dr. Suits and Event Center, simply excellent.
Àkókò ìsinmi ọdún rèé, StarTimes sì mọ̀ wípé ẹ ó ti máa òǹgbẹ ìgbádùn. Ìdí rèé táwa náà fi máa fún yín ní ìgbádùn àwọn ìtàn mánigbàgbé lákòókò yìí. Bí ẹ bá ṣe ń bẹ̀rẹ̀ pẹ̀lú àjẹtẹ́nu àwọn ìtàn amúnúsọkútù wọ̀wọ̀, la ó máa gbọ́ àbọ̀ àwọn àwòyánu ìtàn amúniwo kí ni ó ṣẹlẹ̀, òun kàyéfì lóríṣiríṣi fún yín. Pabambarì ibẹ̀ làwọn eré amúnirẹ́rìn tàkìtì lórí àga. Kò wá tán síbẹ̀ o, a ó tún fi èrè kún fún yín pẹ̀lú àwọn eré ìtàgé òun ìfẹ́ tọ́kàn yín fẹ́ gangan. Ẹ sanwó oṣù méjì kẹ́ ẹ kọ́fà ìlàjì nínú owó oṣù kejì, ìyẹn gangan nìtẹ́lọ́rùn StarTimes. Nítorí náà, lákòókò ìsinmi ọdún yìí, wá fún ara rẹ, ẹbí àtọ̀rẹ́ lẹ́kùnrẹ́rẹ́ ìgbádùn pẹ̀lú àwọn ààyò ètò tiwantiwa àti tòkè òkun bẹ̀rẹ̀ látọjọ́ kìíní oṣù kejìlá ọdún 2018 títí di ọjọ́ kọkànlélọ́gbọ̀n oṣù kìíní ọdún 2019. StarTimes, jẹ̀gbádùn ayé díjítà.
Micron International Suites. Micron International Suites is the latest hospitality business in Abeokuta, combining the use of electronic card keys with energy savers in each room for the comfort of our guests. The choice of our beddings takes adequate care for the young as well as the elderly in terms of comfort. The hotel has the largest water reservoir and a robust parking space that could accommodate up to 40 cars. No wonder we earned the name Mimi Secondus in hospitality business in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Our facilities that are provided in the hotel for your comfort includes access to internet facility with your laptop, standard restaurant, DSTV, executive bar, ready bar for public use, laundry services, conference hall for up to 150 people, car hire services, and car wash. The hotel has various categories of apartments ranging from standard rooms, deluxe rooms, executive deluxe rooms, micro suites, and presidential suites for families who want to be home away from home. Micron International Suites is located at number 1 Wele Ogunbowale Close off General Gazo Crescent, opposite Legislators Quarters, GRA Ibara, Abeokuta, Ogun State. For contact and booking inquiries, 070-3593-0679, 070-6374-3939. Micron International Suites, luxury to pamper you.
The incumbent Chris Ngige was declared the winner, but Mr. Obi contested the result of the election, and in 2006, the Court of Appeal ruled that he was the actual winner of the election, and he was sworn in as governor. However, less than a year after he became governor, he was impeached by the PDP-dominated House of Assembly, and his deputy was made governor. Again, Mr. Obi challenged his impeachment in court, and he was reinstated in 2007, despite the fact that the fresh election had been held in the state in April of that year, which was won by another candidate. Mr. Obi went on again to contest that fact that he had not spent his constitution